I didn't set out to catch her cheating. I just wanted peace of mind. Me and Rena had been together for 2 years. She was 29, charming, unpredictable, and absolutely beautiful in that chaotic, fire in her eyes kind of way that makes you forget common sense. People warned me about her. Friends. My sister. Even my ex-wife, who'd only met her once and instantly said, "She's playing you." But I didn't listen. Then the lies started. Small ones at first. A missed call. A text she swore she never got. A night out with the girls that didn't match up with the tagged photos I found later. Every time I brought it up, she'd flip it on me. Call me paranoid. Controlling. Just like your ex, she'd sneer. So I stopped asking. But I never stopped wondering. That's when I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. A friend of a friend gave me the name, Mason Kane. Mid-30s. Ex-military. Said he'd seen everything. Charged by the day, not the hour. Discreet, thorough, expensive. But worth it, I thought. We met at a diner. He showed up in a denim jacket, tight smile, and eyes like he'd already read my whole life. I handed him a folder, photos of Rena, her usual haunts, license plate, schedule. He took it all without a word. "Just tell me if I'm crazy," I said. He nodded once. "You'll have answers in a week." That was the last normal conversation I ever had. Because a week later, Mason stopped answering my texts. And Rena stopped coming home. At first, I thought she just needed space. Rena had done this before, gone cold for a day or two, turned off her phone, ignored my texts. Usually came back with some excuse about mental health stress, wanting to feel missed. And, like an idiot, I always welcomed her back. But this time felt different. No bags packed. No dramatic fight. No message. She just vanished. I texted Mason, the private investigator. No reply. I emailed. Nothing. I tried calling, and it rang once, then straight to voicemail. I knew something was off, but I couldn't tell if it was paranoia again, or something real this time. Then I checked my mailbox. There was a plain white envelope. No return address. Inside, an invoice from a hotel downtown. 4 nights, suite level. Paid in full. The reservation was under 2 names. Rena Vaughn. Mason Kane. I froze. The same man I paid to follow her had checked into a hotel room with her. At first, I thought maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he followed her there and booked the room next to hers. Maybe it was all part of the surveillance. Maybe. No. I knew better. I looked up the hotel. Called the front desk. The woman on the phone confirmed it. Yes, they checked in together. Romantic package. Roses. Champagne. The works. I hung up. Couldn't breathe. I hired this man to protect me from the truth. Instead, he ran off with it. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I just searched. Their phones went straight to voicemail. No texts. No blue check marks. Like someone yanked the SIM cards right out and tossed them in a river. Rena's Instagram, gone. Her Facebook, deactivated. Her Pinterest board, the one where she'd saved our wedding ideas and honeymoon locations, erased. It was like she'd never existed online at all. I drove to her job. Boutique marketing firm downtown. I asked the receptionist if Rena had been in. She gave me a blank look. She quit last week. Quit. Just like that. No notice. No goodbyes. Just gone. I called her sister. Her voice went cold as soon as I asked. I don't know where she is, she said flatly. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. She left everything. Yeah, the sister snapped. Maybe for a reason. Click. Everyone around her was either in on it, or she'd covered her tracks so well, they didn't know how deep it went. Then I tried Mason's background. I Googled his name. No LinkedIn. No licensing board. The phone number he gave me? A burner. The email address? Disposable domain. Even his office, just a P.O. box at a UPS store. That was the moment I realized I hadn't just been cheated on. I'd been played. This wasn't love. It wasn't betrayal. It was a heist. And I'd bankrolled the whole thing. I kept asking myself, who does this? Who vanishes like that, with a stranger, no trace, no apology, like it was all just a trial run? The answer came 2 days later, from a post I almost scrolled past. I was on a Reddit thread, a support group for people dealing with infidelity, and a comment caught my eye. If your girl's name is Rena Vaughn, run. She pulled something like this in Austin 2 years ago. Different name, same game. Left with the guy who was supposed to investigate her. My heart dropped. I messaged the user immediately. Told him I needed more. He replied within the hour. His name was Devin. And he'd been me, before me. Lived with Rena for nearly a year. Fell in love. Started suspecting things. She always made me feel like I was the crazy one. He wrote. Classic gaslighting. I finally hired a guy to follow her. She made me feel guilty for it. Then one day, poof! Gone. And just like with me, the investigator disappeared too. But here's the part that twisted my gut. The PI she vanished with? I never got his name. But I found a photo once. Looked a hell of a lot like your Mason Kane. He sent me the pic. Grainy, taken from a distance, but there he was. Same jawline. Same eyes. Same smirk. They'd done it before. She was the bait. He was the escape plan. And idiots like me? We were just the job. I wasn't her boyfriend. I was her mark. I walked into the police station with every shred of evidence I had. The hotel invoice. The photo. The texts. Even Devin's Reddit posts printed out and highlighted like I was building a case in a courtroom. The officer at the front desk listened. Took notes. Nodded politely. Then he said the words that made me want to rip the skin off my own face. You didn't report a theft. You reported a breakup. I blinked. She stole from me. She took money from a shared account. Which you opened. That's not theft. That's consensual withdrawal. What about the investigator? The deception? The setup? He shrugged. No law against dating someone you hired. I left that station feeling smaller than I'd ever felt in my life. That night, I checked our bank account again. We'd opened it together 9 months into the relationship. Joint savings. For our future, she said. I believed her. I let her handle most of the transfers. I logged in and stared at the balance. 11 cents. She didn't just leave me. She emptied me. Every dollar. My emergency fund. The rent buffer. Gone. I opened the transaction history. It wasn't some slow drip. It was one transfer. Clean. 4 days before she vanished. The same day Mason ghosted me. She knew exactly when to hit. Right before I got suspicious. Right before I knew what to look for. And now? The cops couldn't help. My money was gone. She was gone. And all I had left was a name that probably wasn't even hers to begin with. I found the number buried deep in an old email chain. Rena had forwarded me a group invite for her mom's birthday brunch almost a year ago. The RSVP came from a Gmail address labeled j.vaughn1225. I remembered asking once, "What does the J stand for?" She smiled and said, "Julianne. But we don't really talk much." That was a lie. Like everything else. But I had nothing left to lose. So I called. A woman picked up on the second ring. Her voice was calm, older, gentle in that way that makes you feel guilty for even disturbing her peace. "Hi, I'm looking for Julianne Vaughn," I said. "This is she." I took a breath. "I'm trying to reach Rena. I was her boyfriend." Silence. Then, "Who?" "Rena Vaughn." Your daughter. A pause. A deep, strange pause. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. My daughter's name was Serena. But she died 3 years ago. My knees gave out. I sat on the floor. Car accident, she said quietly. That's not a name I've heard in a long time. I tried to respond, but nothing came out. She asked softly, Who are you? But I hung up. I searched everything after that. Death records. Obituaries. And there it was. Serena Vaughn, deceased, age 26. Same face. Slightly different hair. Same damn eyes. She hadn't just lied about the relationship. She'd lied about who she was. She took her dead sister's name, her birth date, her identity, and made it her own. And Mason? He wasn't the first man she disappeared with. He was just the one she kept using. And I had walked right into it. The first message came through Instagram. No profile picture. 1 follower. No posts. Just this. I think she got you too. I've been looking for her since 2019. His name was Brent. He lived in Seattle. Former finance guy. Lost everything, including his house, after dating a girl from Los Angeles, who disappeared with the same man he'd hired to make sure she was faithful. She told me her name was Kayla, he said. But it was her. Same face. Same tattoo. Same look in her eyes when she lied. Then another message came. This one through Reddit. I read your story. She came back to me. His name was Jared. Montana. Quiet life. Never saw it coming. She returned to him a year after disappearing. New hair color, different name, new story about an abusive ex she barely escaped. He bought every word. I thought she was healing, he wrote. But when I lost my job, she was gone. Took $5,000 in cash and my dog. I started a folder. Named it Cases. Collected screenshots, timelines, faces, voices. Built a digital graveyard of every man she'd left behind. Rena. Kayla. Serena. Joanne. Different names. Different lives. But always, the same man beside her. Mason Kane. I wasn't the first. And I sure as hell wouldn't be the last. But this time, I wasn't just grieving. I was documenting. Because some people hurt you with fists. Some with silence. But them? They stole your trust. Wrapped in love. And left nothing behind but questions. The message came at 2:43 a.m. She's active again. Florida. Tampa. New name, Emma Cole. It came with a screenshot, a smiling profile on a local dating app. Different hair. New tattoo. Same smirk. I stared at the photo for a long time. She looked younger. Happier. Like someone who hadn't left behind 5 ruined men and a trail of ghosted apartments. I googled Emma Cole, Tampa. Found a LinkedIn. A photography website. A fake business license under a fake name. A shared Airbnb profile, hosted with a man named Mark K. And guess what? Mark looked a whole lot like Mason. Same eyes. Same build. Same con. I didn't tell anyone. I booked a one-way flight. I didn't go there to confront her. Or hurt anyone. I just wanted to see it for myself. To know it wasn't a dream. That she was real. That I wasn't crazy. I watched from across the street. She laughed as she walked out of a coffee shop, holding his hand. No rush. No guilt. Like the slate had been wiped clean again. And I realized this wasn't a game to her. It was a profession. She didn't just use people. She recycled identities. Flipped stories like cards in a deck. And men like me? We were just chapters in whatever version of herself she was selling that year. I didn't approach her. I didn't yell. I just took a photo. One clear shot. Date. Time. Location. And I sent it to every man in the folder. Caption. She's not gone. She's just renamed. And someone else is falling in love with her right now. The end.